struggle mentally on different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I notice the birds and they're free. Not worried about a thing, not even worried about me. Down here, they free. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. I'm always seeing them pass by. I'm jealous. So many things, so many bills I gotta worry about. I go to work every day so they get paid. So many jobs, so many friends, different associates. I always forget they're subjected to change. Nothing stays the same, things always changing like the seasons. As soon as I get my hopes up, issues start falling down. I struggle mentally on different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I notice the birds in there. Not worried about a thing, not even worried about me. Down here, they free. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. I'm always seeing them pass by. I'm jealous. Don't gotta worry about social issues. Don't gotta worry about bills to pay. Don't gotta worry about people falling out with you. I struggle mentally on different ways I can let go. As I look up in the sky to talk to God, I notice the birds in there. Not worried about nothing, worried about me. Down here, they ain't nowhere that they can't fly. Ain't nowhere that they can't fly. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Peace, love, what the love, vibe, tribe, like and subscribe. Help your boy break away from that 9 to 5. Um, my name is not important, but what is important is I'm here on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center for healing. I will be presenting today a collective general tarot reading. Earlier today, I did, I think, the financial reading. So in the days to come, I will be doing the week ahead for love. All right. Other news and announcements. I will be adding to the Sacred Self. I'm sorry. I will be adding to the podcast series removing manifestation blockages. All right, removing manifestation blockages. I think we like 4 or 5 episodes in. I got 2 of them that I'm working on right now, so be on the lookout for any announcements to that. So before we get started, I'm going to give us an affirmation to take with us throughout the week. All right. Um, and then after I get the affirmation, then we're going to activate it, meaning we're going to speak it out loud. We're going to meditate on it. I'm going to I'm gonna get into the sound bowl for about a minute or two, and then we're gonna get started with the collective reading. All right. I don't know why I didn't have it ready, but I will be posting the affirmation in the chat. Um, Give me a second. Let me post it in the chat. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So I'm back in the chat. All right. So it says, I release the weight, I rise in truth. 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 All right, so I'm going to take a few minutes, play the sound bowl. Um, you can breathe normal. I would just say deep breathe through the pelvic floor, through the chest, and all the way through. All right. All right, so here we go. So for those who's just coming in, the affirmation for the week is I release the weight, I rise in truth. All right, so we're gonna marinate on that until we hit the 10-minute mark. All right, so make sure we deep breathe in through our diaphragm and whatnot. And don't forget, after this collective reading, which is going to be, a few minutes, maybe 20 more minutes or so, we're going to get into the individual readings after. All right, so we're going to start up a whole nother live. I don't know, maybe we can listen to some music and whatnot, try to, crank up the mood a little bit. We got 1 more minute. I just want us to zero back in, bring our awareness back in the body, right? Focus on the affirmation. Right, we're releasing weight as we rise. Remember, we cannot have too much baggage when we're trying to fly an airplane. It don't work, right? You think astronauts, you think they pack heavy? Nope, they take what they need. I know I would. So we got about 10 seconds left. Continue to breathe nice and slow. At least 4 or 5 seconds on the inhale, and at least 5, 6 seconds on the exhale. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Yeah, that's another one of my favorite what they call them divination tools or whatever. I don't know. All right. So let's go ahead and get this thing crack-a-lacking. What are we starting off with first? I think we are going to start off with um spirit animal card, all right? But that's crazy work. That's crazy work. All right, here we go, y'all. We're getting started. All right, so it's a little whatever, right? We working, we grinding, right? Cause I'm out here grinding. It is. All right, so right now we're before we get to the sacred spirit card for the week ahead reading. I just want to thank everybody for stopping in. Oh, shout out to all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the support. Shout out to donations. Shout out to everybody who's been booking and whatnot. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Yeah. So for those who just coming in, we're doing a collective week ahead read, and it's going to be pretty in depth. We got a couple tarot cards. We got a couple oracle cards. So, what up, everybody? What up? What up? Drop some hearts in the chat, please, please, please. Hype me up, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right. So here we go. All right. So this week's energy carries the vibration of karmic closure and spiritual resurrection. A wheel long in motion has reached a critical turning point. But before the new cycle begins, something ancient must be released, not with fear, but with reverence. You are not letting go of burdens. You are shedding energetic identities that no longer serve or match your frequency. We are entering sacred territory. All right. Remember, when you come here, this is spa day for the soul. All right. The space between the end of the old and the activation of the new. Spirit is calling you to surrender resistance and step into a greater orchestration. You are being freed by design. Let's decode the sacred pattern Spirit has laid before us. All right, so the first card we got here is going to be what up, what up, everybody. Make sure y'all go follow my girl Beyond the Universe Tarot. Matter of fact, I be so comfortable with y'all. All is well. Thank you. We cooking. We cooking with gas, as a matter of fact. So with that being said, make sure y'all drop y'all ats, right? I think your ad is like F Toby or something. You can go to your channel and just copy it, but go ahead and post y'all channels, man. Make sure y'all follow each other. Show some love. Drop some hearts on each other's channel, right? Let them know where that lineage come from. Right? We got to use them hearts. Yeah, F Toby 84. Right? All right. So we got uh the number 19 card. And it's the elephant. All right. It says you can't see it, but it says. And just so y'all know, we will be having an after party after this collective reading. Okay. So make sure y'all stick around. Make sure y'all drop the hearts, whatever y'all got to do, so y'all won't get bored and go to another channel. Cause I know y'all don't like KP, his nasally voice, right? So be wise and altruistic in your actions. All right. That's cause y'all make me feel so comfortable, right? That's cause I'm not fried. I'm sober. I'm not fried, gang. All right. So let's get into some of the deeper occult or metaphysical understandings of the elephant before we read the book, okay? Now I want y'all to listen closely, okay? Because learning how to decode symbols is how you get a oh my god, see I got another class, removing manifestation blockages, decode in life. Damn, that's crazy. Somebody text me that or something, all right, so I won't forget. All right, so be wise and altruistic in your actions. The elephant embodies the ancient archetype of the keeper of the Akashic records. In metaphysical terms, it symbolizes embodied wisdom, karmic stewardship, and long range energetic perspective. Very interesting, right? Especially with me being a tarot reader. I mean, a Reiki Master, right? The elephant doesn't rush, it feels the land beneath it, it listens to ancestral echoes, and it remembers what others forget. All right, so if you love elephants, if you resonate with an elephant, or if you haven't seen the elephant, then this is going to be confirmation for you moving forward. Okay, the number 19 holds solar energy. Now remember back to the sun card in tarot, what the sun card represent in the major arcana, right? The card suggests the presence of spiritual illumination and karmic clarity. That means, all right, well, drop them. Go ahead and drop them elephants in the chat. Matter of fact, whenever we see animals and all that stuff in the cards, we just might as well go ahead and drop the emoji so we can bring them the spirit to life. You feel what I'm saying? All right. So 1 plus 9 equals 10, and then 1 plus 0 equals 1, pointing the alpha and omega, right? Beginning and end, things coming full circle, the snake biting its tail. All right. The cycle ending and rebirth beginning. Spirit is asking you, can you act not only for your own evolution, but also for the collective ripple you sent out? Elephant noises. Oh wait, that's a baby elephant. Hold on. That's my best elephant I could do right now, y'all. I ain't been to Africa in a while. I'm sorry. I'm a little rusty. All right. Yeah, I speak squirrel. I speak whale. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the video. Let's get back. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that DNA strong, man. DNA strong, man. You know, we had the woolly mammoths over here in America. You know, and they ate people too. So, you know. All right. So, second question. This card is saying, this is rooted in ego or in elevation. The elephant leads. Yeah, drop them elephants in the chat. Um, the elephant leads not through domination, but through energetic integrity. You're being called to embody divine wisdom and action, right? What I would say is that an animal that know it's big ain't gotta act like it's big. You understand what I'm saying? So, so you just gotta be who you are. Nothing else. Just be who you are. You'll be straight. All right. So let's go ahead and see what the book got to say. No, that wasn't even a book word. All right. So here we go. No, not the number 22. Look, the first number I go to is the number 22, which is the peacock. Ooh, I can't even see it in here. All right, flashlight. The symbolism of the elephant is inherently linked to qualities such as wisdom, strength, patience, and altruism. Expanding the concept of be wise and altruistic in your actions in the context of the elephant can be explained in the various ways. 3 ways in particular. They say various like it's going to vary. It's always 3 different ways. Wisdom. Elephants are often considered symbols of wisdom and knowledge, as they are animals that exhibit extremely intelligent and social behavior. When we receive the message of the elephant, we're invited to cultivate the inner wisdom and make informed and prudent decisions. It reminds us to be mindful of our actions and the consequences they may have, guided by wisdom rather than by impulsivity. Number 2, strength and patience. Elephants are known for their incredible physical strength, but also their patience and resilience. Y'all ever seen an elephant push over a tree before? Elephants is strong as hell, man. Elephants be breaking trees. Y'all ever seen that before? That is crazy, man. Elephants is crazy. They noses, everything. This everything about the elephant is just crazy, right? So we're encouraged. Oh, when we receive the message of the elephant, we're encouraged to develop an inner strength that goes beyond mere physical power. It invites us to face challenges with patience and determination, to be resilient in the face of adversity, and to confront difficulties with courage and confidence. Altruism. Elephants are extremely social animals that demonstrate remarkable altruism towards members of their herd. When we receive the message of the elephant, we are called to cultivate altruism in our actions and relationships with others. It invites us to be caring and compassionate towards others, to lend a helping hand when needed, and to contribute to the well-being of the community in which we live. In summary, when we receive, right, say that 10 times fast backwards. In summary, when we receive the message of the elephant, we're invited to embody the wisdom, strength, and altruism of this majestic animal. Am I saying that word right? Altruism. All right. It reminds us to make prudent decisions, to face challenges with patience and determination, and to be caring and altruistic towards others. This allows us to live a more authentic and meaningful life, contributing to the well being not only of ourselves, but also to the community around us. All right. So I want to know if anybody on KP's research team can tell me what part of the brain makes the elephant unique? All right, the elephant got a very specific part of the brain that makes them unique from all other animals, right? Um, I want to know if anybody know what that is. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. I know this is what y'all been waiting on. All right, so the first card we have here is Bum Bum Bum. Actually, a very excellent card to start off for the week ahead tarot reading. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Um. So this card represents the planet Jupiter, fire and ether. And it's the number 10. Okay. Um. This cosmic Dharma wheel. All right. So how can I explain Dharma in simplest terms? Dharma, can I explain it as your life path? Uh, how can I explain Dharma? Dharma, Dharma is cosmic law. Dharma is what karma comes from. Um, so okay, so the best way I can explain just quickly so I can get on with the read. Dharma is the natural order of things, right? It's a person's duty and responsibility. Um, Righteousness and virtue. Uh, it's it's the quality of a person. Dharma is karma. Dharma is not karma. Karma is action. Karma is action. Dharma is what governs the action. If that makes sense. It's kind of like when you got matter and consciousness and they got to meet together in order to do something. Like a stem cell is just a stem cell until it gets divine consciousness, right? And this is how we know that our body is multidimensional, because we could take a stem cell or we could take bone marrow, right? I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this out loud, but if you fasting and if you know certain breathing techniques and all of this stuff like that, you can stimulate stem cell growth. Uh, it's simple. It's way more simpler than what they lead it to believe. The only thing I would say is that if you have viruses and stuff like that, then it might be hard, because viruses attack the divine intelligence of the human mechanism. And that's like the simplest way I can explain that without going too deep. So it actually changes the programming of the cells. That's why you can't kill a virus, because a virus is not alive. It's just information. A virus is kind of like a parasite for our DNA. I don't want to keep talking about this. I don't want to keep. Y'all go holler at my boy 607 Unc, not the punk. Go holla at him. So, so again, karma is the action only, right? Dharma is what governs the action, your life path, the morals and ethics you live by, et cetera, right? So back to the reading, right? This is the cosmic dharma wheel, all right? The sacred mechanism of fate, karma, and soul agreements. When it appears, the multidimensional forces of time, choice, and consequence are in motion. You are not experiencing random events. You are now entering the exact moment your soul wrote into its contract before incarnation. That is not my words, and I didn't catch that when I was going over that. I don't necessarily believe in choosing your path before incarnation, right? Only way we could choose our path, and I try not to say this, but as parents, we pass on our consciousness. So when we pass on our DNA, we passing on our consciousness. We just don't remember, right? So that's why it's a parent's job to guide the child and prepare them for the world, right? You prepare them on the logical level, but you also prepare the kids for the on the what is it called? Um DNA. What is that shit called? Epigenetic, right? Epigenetics as well. I forgot what I was saying, trying to remember the word. Um, but so the thing is that passing on DNA is a transfer of consciousness, right? It was a quote that said that sex is just your DNA trying to move on without you, right? That's all it is. So if you believe in reincarnation in that way, then people are literally cloning themselves while they're alive. Scientifically speaking, we're just cloning ourselves. When we have sex, we splitting, right? Just like when you look at a cell in vitro, and the cell continue to split until it got different body parts and they start coming together to form. It's the same thing happens on many different levels. It's not just when we an egg, right? We turn to a seahorse, and then we turn to a big mouth bass, then we turn to a giraffe, and then we turn to a lizard people, then we turn to a human, right? It's not just in the womb that this transformation happens, right? But again, the cells are nothing without divine intelligence telling it where to go. All right. So uh back to the wheel of fortune, okay? So again, what I would say, is make sure that when we go to sleep at night, when we wake up in the morning, when we giving advice to people, when we setting our goals, we are doing everything with the highest intention, right? Because we got to start doing things today that we're going to be proud of tomorrow, because today is going to set the foundation for tomorrow. I'm going to say this forever. All right. This Wheel of Fortune card reminds us that there is no consequences, coincidences. I'm sorry. What up? What up? What up? What up? There is no coincidences, only alignments. Um, this card is reminding us that you are being shifted because your frequency demands it, right? This card is reminding us that resistance to divine time and blocks expansion. All right, and I always say this: uh, when only a fool will turn down wisdom. All right, and that's gonna resonate with somebody somewhere, somehow, some way. So before we move on with the reading, I want to go ahead and tap into the second card, which is going to be the Ten of Wands. Okay, so if you haven't noticed, we got a theme going on with the ten so far. All right. Um, so again, another fire card. Uh when it come down to Jewish mysticism, this card relates to the Sephirah of Malkuth, which is the physical plane. So that's the third dimension that we live on, okay? Um So just really quick, remember the tens in this card and all the cards are all about the closing of cycles, right? Now the reason why I didn't really uh say that for the Wheel of Fortune card, because the Wheel of Fortune, it really is a little bit different. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, when you hit the 10, it still continues because it goes on to 20. So really, this 10 card is really about 45% or something like that of the major arcana. It's not quite 100%, right? It's not. It's the close of the old cycle, but the best is yet to come, right? Because we still got to get to the world card, all that stuff, right? So here again, we got a theme of the 10 so far. All right. Um This card sometimes could represent carrying a lot of burdens, mental or physical exhaustion, but not necessarily always. Sometimes yes, right? Um Sometimes this card represents fourth dimensional energetic cores, right? Um and remember, the wands is the fire element representing your desires, right? I desire, I want. And sometimes internal thinking, right? Don't you know, like in the Bible, when they say when you think it, you thinking is just as bad as doing it, or when you, I think they said something like, when you think it, you've already sinned, or something like that. Because when you think it in your mind, then your brain is like got a connection to a infinite Wi-Fi, and that infinite Wi-Fi connects you to a 3D printer that we call um I don't know what the hell you want to call it, right? But I look at that connection that we have to the all, right, as a 3D printer. And your consciousness gives the instructions. All right. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm throwing somebody off right now. Maybe I'm throwing myself off. So let me get back to the card. All right. So remember that this card doesn't always necessarily deal with physical burdens, but it could be mental. Oh, that's what I was saying, mental, emotional. So even if, for example, somebody isn't physically in your energy, can I get some likes, please? Don't leave, y'all. Hit that like button. Right? Say if somebody isn't physically in your energy, but somehow, some way, you still thinking about them, talking about them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Where you're keeping that energetic cord alive because it take two to tango, right? So just think about a telephone cord, right? When you're thinking about people and then talking about people from a distance, you can actually cause people to come towards you or push them away from you, right? So we just got to be careful with that, right? Uh so this card here is representing us being able to safely dump away the karmic weight or the energetic cords that's been accumulating, especially when we talking about lower dimensional consciousness. Okay, so however that resonate with you, let it resonate. This card is connected to lifetimes of being a spiritual carrier, right? The empath, the fixer, the strong one. Okay. When this card come out, your spirit is saying that you crossed the threshold of your soul's fatigue. All right, and in addition to that, it's saying that the path ahead is too sacred to walk carrying energetic cords. The tree and the tree of life mysticism. The card is linked to the final Sephirah Malkuth, or Earth, right? The Earth realm, third dimension, where divine intention materializes. All right. So if you don't know, the Jewish Kabbalah tree is really, they refer to it as a map of consciousness, and they believe Yod head, Vav head. I know a lot of people heard that, the 666 and all of that shit, right? Don't be scared of it. But you know, the tree of life is actually a map of consciousness on how to manifest. Oh my God, KP, I know you ain't just say that. I know you ain't just say that, KP. Yeah, I said it. So for all everybody who be like, yeah, the Jewish people this and you know they be talking to demons and all that stuff. Listen, man. People who be banking on metaphysical and occult, listen. I don't know how you interested in tarot if you don't like Jewish mysticism, right? The tarot is Jewish mysticism. Tarot is the flashcards for Jewish mysticism. You understand what I'm saying? So learning tarot cards, you are being initiated into Jewish mysticism, right? So you might as well go ahead and tap into that. You know what I'm saying? That Kadesh. You know what I'm saying? They sound like they about to spit on everybody when they talk. Makuf, right? Makuf. So in the Tree of Life mysticism, this card uh links the final Sephirah, Malkuth, where the divine intention materializes. But if misaligned, it becomes a place of stagnation, burden, and blocked ascension. This card demands a spiritual detox, not just of responsibility, but of identity, right? A lot of people believe that identity is an illusion itself, all right? Um, you are not meant to shrink into survival. You are meant to transcend it, all right? You are not meant to shrink for survival. All right, you are meant to transcend any and everything. So again, uh, okay, here we go. So we have in our final card, the Eight of Swords. So altogether we got 28. All right, add that two. plus the 8 that equals 10. Add 1 plus 0 that equals 1 again. All right. So we got, if you do the numbers, we got three tens here. All right. So we go from two fire cards right back. Well, the Wheel of Fortune is fire and spirit, and then we get right back to an air card, okay? So after two fire cards, we get to an air card, all right? So this card is a whole, right? On the tree of life, right? The Sephira whole. And this mind, perception, and limitation. So here we believe that the only limitations of the mind is the perceptions of the mind, okay? So if you perceive something as something, then it will be that. All right, hit that like button, y'all. We got a couple people in here. Go ahead and double tap that screen. Remember, the 8 is all about action, moving forward. All right. So this is that one card in the number line in every suit where in its upright is got a very starch warning of its reverse polarity. Right. So the 8 of swords is the illusion of entrapment, a mental prison shaped by fear, trauma, or distorted perceptions. This is the card of false boundaries, where the soul has outgrown its cage, but the mind hasn't yet realized the door is open. This card speaks to the subconscious programming and mental constructs created by survival patterns, ancestral fear, and outdated beliefs. I gotta stop right there. Listen, subconscious programming, mental constructs, ding, 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 ding. One thing that we learn, not just in psychology, right, but in communications classes and stuff like that, is people can't see outside of their mental construct. They call it a personal like a personal space bubble, and it's reality that people has built for themselves based off of their perception of the world. Now this perception of the world can be influenced by culture, it can be influenced by your parents, especially by religion, because the whole point of religion, they tell you this in Religion 101, that the whole point of religion is to build and shape society in a particular way, right? Religion is meant to appeal to the subconscious, to the conscious spirit, and is meant to be entertaining as well. They tell you this when you take those classes, when you all those priests and that got a doctorate degree and all of this stuff. Listen, they know way more than what they tell y'all. They know way more. They just took an oath to something, right? Um, Mental constructs. Uh, we got to be ready to break them. We got to be ready to break them. And that's one thing that I do well is I challenge people's mental constructs. And if you sit here on the live, you will see it, right? Some people, they get defensive. Some people, they joke around like a little kid. Some people, they get really deep into what I'm saying. Some people be like, oh, this doesn't resonate for me, right? People, it just depends on what path, what walk of life you on, right? But I noticed one thing, that everybody is suffering from learned helplessness. I don't care who, what, when, where, why, or how. Everybody is suffering from learned helplessness. Everybody, to a certain degree, one way or another, because it's built into society. So so you can't tell me you know different than the average person, because the average person don't even know no better, right? So um this is why in the Matrix they say we don't wake up people after a certain age because they lose their mind. This is what they talking about. A lot of people who you think is fried, they purposefully chose to continue the reality that they live in when they was presented new information. Some people s- some people don't have a choice. A lot of people don't have a choice. A lot of people can't handle falling off the wall and cracking their. lot of people won't make it back. That's why when you see people who lose a loved one or something like that and they never recover, right? They smoke crack, they drink forever, right? It's they mental construct has been broken. Most people is on the edge of destruction, right? Don't push me cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. That reality is a reality because if you get comfortable, then you won't pay taxes. If you get comfortable, then you might learn something different, right? That might change your perspective. And I'm not gonna keep going. I want to get back to the car, but you know what I'm saying. Mental constructs, right? Whether it's something that was placed in us through religion, through our parents, we got to be ready. We got to be willing and ready to challenge that. Or even if it's just something that we developed as a coping mechanism, we got to be ready to attack those because, again, when you want to grow, you got to add new tools to the tool belt, and you might have to throw some of those old ones away. All right. So this card speaks to subconscious programming and mental constructs created by survival patterns and ancestral fears, right? This is when they cut off Kunta foot in front of the crew. This is when they used to have sex with the biggest slaves, right? This is, you control your kids or I'll take them from you. You know what I'm saying? This is that ancestral fears, right? They always say that, the black man or the melanated or even the minority man, right? The minority man is publicly being crucified, and out of fear, the mothers are smothering the boys to death so they can never grow up and really be warriors or kings because the mothers is raising them out of fear, right? The mothers, they can't raise them to be warriors. They can't because if most mothers think that if they raise them to be warriors, then they sacrificing them. But little do you know, sparing the rod is sacrificing them as well. So it's always a even. You know what I'm saying? If you do too much, that's wrong. You do too little, that's wrong too. All right. So while it can feel like you are suffocating, the truth is you're not actually trapped. You are entranced by the idea that you are. So let's stop validating this victimhood and start validating our victoryhood. Let's stop giving me reasons why you can't. If I give you a suggestion, if we manifesting something new and something good, don't give me no reasons why you can't. Don't give me no reasons why it's gonna fail, right? Go. I want you to work around those reasons why you can fail in your head. Come up with a game plan before you even speak it into existence. It's a million ways shit can go wrong. So why would we focus on it while we manifest it? Right? That's asking for the things to go wrong to go wrong. All right. So energetically, this card invites us uh shadow work around beliefs that block your evolution, reclaiming your mental sovereignty, and recognizing self liberation begins with awareness. In the Hermetic terms, this is a call to reprogram the mind. Um, and conscious effort to reprogram the subconscious is what I would say. It's going to take conscious effort and conservative effort to reprogram the subconscious, meaning that in order for you to be this new person or autopilot, you're going to have to actively do this every single day. Aligning with truth rather than fear, you are being asked to remove the blindfold and remember that and remember that what confines you can no longer contain you. All right, unless you allow it to. So the again, before we close out, I just want to say a couple things. The Wheel of Fortune, right, represents divine movement, uh, and is moving in your favor, right? We always moving towards fate, right? And we gotta capitalize on the momentum that we building up. The Ten of Wands is saying that you must lay down the spiritual weight that you've been carrying. All right. And then the Eight of Swords is saying that your freedom is going to depend on new thoughts over old fears. So your soul is calling you to rise, no longer as who you were, but as who you really are. All right, as you really are. And let's go ahead and close this thing out. All right, so we got one more card, and then we're gonna shut this down and come back for the collective. I mean, the individual readings. All right, so this is the number 4 card of the Sacred Spirits. All right, it says awakened spirit, desire to change. Fofo bulldog, my motherfucking pet. I gotta stop cussing. Algorithm, algorithm. Um, so the number 4 corresponds to foundational elements in both esoteric and sacred geometry. Earth, north, stability, and the 4 directions. But when linked to the theme of awakening, it represents the shattering of old structures and to build a new soul aligned architecture. All right. This card indicates a Kundalini activation, internal uprising of energy that demands spiritual alignment. The desire to change is not mental, it is a cellular remembrance. Your body, aura, and DNA is shifting. Ask yourself, what is rising within me that can no longer be ignored? What structures must I release to honor the awakening of my soul? You are not broken, you are breaking free. Ain't that what Kanye said? He said, I ain't have a breakdown, I had a breakthrough. Shout it. All right, so let me pull out the book. Let me pull up the book. Go to the number 4. All right, so here we go. It says, an awake. Oh, wait, it's too small. An awakened spirit is much like Alice in Wonderland. Once you have traveled down the rabbit hole, you can no longer go back to what you knew before. You become forever changed by your new experience. New information and experiences. Oh, come back, come back, come back. New information and experiences will change you at your very core. You become enlightened with sacred connections resulting in physical, spiritual, and emotional changes. What up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, donate to reciprocate. You may be feeling lost and confused about your life, relationships, family, or social connections, including employment. This is a time when making meaningful experiences is a priority as you can no longer fathom wasting time on greedy, materialistic, or ego based principles. The question of why comes to the forefront of almost every experience as you search for meaning and validity here on earth. Seeing through the industrial machine of society, you become more aware of unhappiness and lack of passion, ethics, and integrity, right? What I would say is if you are one of those people that see these things in society, do not get mad. Um, I read a book that had an exercise in it, and I'll share part of that exercise with you. If you are out in public, you know I ain't even gonna do that. If y'all want that, I'll give it to y'all in private. What I would recommend is purposefully look for things to compliment in life, right? Purposefully look for beautiful things. Oh, that color of that car is beautiful. Oh, her wig is beautiful, right? Her toenail polish is beautiful, whatever, right? Um, So again, seeing through the industrial machine of society, you become more aware of people's unhappiness and lack of passion, ethics, and integrity. At this moment, understanding who you are, the real you, beyond what you have been conditioned to believe by societal norms, family or school or institutions, become a dominant feature in your life. Right now, your spirit seeks freedom, confined by restrictive interactions and outdated ideals. It's important to understand the connection between your physical body and spiritual self. This deep connection is the soul's expanding awareness into seeing a broader and bigger picture of life. Health issues, I mean, I'm sorry. Health challenges can occur now as you go through the phase of spiritual improvement. All right. Sometimes people call those ascension symptoms. Growing impatience with materialistic people, social media, and news programs continually highlight the world's imbalance of peace and harmony. Humanitarian efforts are supported now, donating time, effort, and energy into community programs or groups, uh, and implementing healthy and greener alternatives into your life will bring you new opportunities, creating a supportive and healthier lifestyle. So, shadow aspect, authoritarian communication, being inconsiderate, and social disconnection. All right, the sacred crystal for this card is going to be white selenite. All right, angel assistance, guardian angel Peniel. Never seen that angel before. But that's the Jewish mysticism, right? Understanding difficult situations and life lessons. So this card has an affirmation associated with it. It says, "I am free to follow." Let me see if I can copy it. Let me see if I can copy it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna copy it and post it. It's always something extra. It's always something extra. All right, let me open up the chat and post it. Hold on 1 sec. I knew that was gonna happen. There we go. All right, it says, "I am free to follow the call of purpose with love and clarity." So yeah, so they actually all of the angels, like Christianity, they really only got what, five archangels, and the symbolism is there, but when we talking about just angels, see, they got a whole bunch of different spirits and stuff like that. But when we talking about angels, I think it's 22 angels. Archangel, I think it's 22 archangels, but they got different spirits and different angels though. They got different types of angels. It ain't just archangels. So, but yeah, I think it's like 20 something. So yeah, that's what that's about. But before I get in the closing message, do we got any questions, comments, or concerns? right. So since everybody's ignoring me, let's go ahead and roll with the punches. So in closing, um, I want y'all to take this with y'all for the week, okay? You are not stuck. You are standing in the threshold between who you were taught to be. Listen up, listen closely. You are standing in the threshold between who you were taught to be and who your soul resonates with. This week, Spirit reminds you what binds you now is only a thought, not truth, not faith, not failure. You are not caged by circumstances. You are momentarily caught in a web of old perception. But the wheel has turned, the heaviness is ready to fall. You are ready with the new eyes. You are ready to see with the new eyes and act from higher wisdom. This is not just about release, but about recognition that your power has never lost. That your clarity was only waiting for stillness, and that your liberation begins with permission. The door is open, the path is clear, and your spirit is rising, and your mind is awakening to follow it. Walk forward, not because it's easy, but because it's true. You were never meant to stay bound. You were always meant to lead the way in light, in wisdom, and truth. All right. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down because I've been on here twice as long as I really wanted to be. I will be coming back live in about 30 seconds. And we could get to the individual readings. So, with that being said, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be of service to you all. My name is not important, but what is I am here on behalf of Sacred Self Healing Center, where the heart is the center for healing. So, if you know what I'm about to say it with me. Peace, love, health, and wealth. Anything else, put it back on the shelf. Why? Because I ain't buying it. Peace. Boo boo.